Hi, good morning. I am here in my art studio this morning. It's pretty early. I have a few moments. I've got my coffee and I'm trying something new. I was taking a salt bath this morning and I was meditating and just started thinking, because I still have a lot of thoughts during my meditations as well. I am a work in progress. I am going through all of my prescriptions, my steps, just as much as any of my clients, any of my followers. In fact, maybe more so. One thing I realized this morning is that in the process of all of this content creation that I've been doing, like marathon sessions of content creation, which is hard to see when you just look at my channel. You don't see all of the hours of the work that go into making a little 1 minute and 31 second video. I don't know if it's because I'm just not that adept at all of my editing yet, and I'm not, I'm learning about all the technology, but I certainly haven't mastered all of it. I'm doing a lot better than I was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But this has been a journey, a long journey. So anyway, all of that to try to say, when I'm in the throes of content creation, my creativity, all my creativity goes into my content creation. When I'm creating content, my art making really suffers, and I don't get in the studio. I don't make. Part of the reason that I'm doing monthly neuro art sessions on Facebook is because it helps me continue my practice. None of the neuro art has been a lot easier to just sit down and doodle and do while I'm watching television, or just have a few minutes. It's a lot easier entry point. But my studio art, my collage art, and now I'm moving into combining the neuro art with the collage art. It's moving at a snail's pace because I'm not really here. I'm not really focusing. I'm not really doing it as much as I would like to be doing it. So my intention is to put together a little time with the artist video, an art making video, to post weekly as a way of sharing what I am doing, my new artwork and what I'm working on, with my viewers, but also, and even maybe primarily, as a way of just keeping connected and showing up for myself in my studio. So that said, I'm going to get a sip of coffee and I'm going to start creating for a little bit today, and we'll see what comes at the end of the week. All right. I've had a few marathon sessions of my new art making. I'm going to turn the camera down here so you can kind of see what I'm working on. I'll work on the red today. Yeah, so I got this idea to combine my neuro art with my collage art, and I'm liking the way that it's coming together. Honestly, I don't know how inspired I feel about the whole thing right now. I'm trying to find that inspiration. But honestly, I think that I am trying to find the inspiration in my whole life. It's really hard. I don't mean these to be depressing sessions, but you know what? They're going to be honest, they're going to be real, and whatever comes out is just what comes out. And it's just, honestly, it's where I am on my journey. In 2025, it is really hard to break into the content creating world. That's what I am. That's what I knew from my last channel, Zinnia's Way, the art of Zinnia's Way. But it's what I'm finding now, and it seems to be, it's even worse now than it was 3 years ago when I started Zinnia's Way. And so, yeah, this is my red root chakra. I've got yellow paint in this brush. I need a new brush. Working on red for the root chakra today, and so maybe that's why I'm like all focused on this survival stuff and just bringing this channel to life. It's really hard, and it's really, honestly, so discouraging when you work, I mean, literally hours and hours putting together videos or putting together an event, and people don't show up, or people or the algorithm doesn't even put your video in front of people to see. I mean, honestly, I start wondering if that's more of what the problem, or as much of what the problem is, because I don't know. Like I said before, when I posted my videos, I didn't get a ton of views, but it felt like I was getting more. I mean, I can go back and check the data, the analytics, and see it just again, it feels like I was getting more views than I'm even getting an opportunity to get right now. But anyway, this is the oops, that's my paint my paintbrush that just fell apart. This is not meant to be a complaining session, but it is a it's the truth. And if it feels too gripey and complainy, I can just cut out the sound and put some music over it. But I just have to say, one of the things that I preach all of the authenticity, and I believe it, but living it is difficult whenever you allow yourself to be vulnerable and you share your authentic self, and then it feels like people don't respond, or people don't want to see that. And that's honestly, that's hurtful. I'm not saying, I'm not blaming the people who aren't watching for being hurtful. I'm just saying it's easy for me to fall into the trap of being hurt by not having people respond to my artwork. But honestly, it's been the nature of being an artist all along. Taking my art to, entering my art in shows, and just, first of all, not being accepted into the shows, that hurt a lot, because, again, when you put your heart into something like your artwork, it is part of you. It's part of you. It feels like part of you. It's hard to separate. Your work from people's reaction about your work. Anyway, the work feels like me, and when people reject my work, or when people, not even that they reject it, but I'll just be very frank, they don't want to purchase it. They don't want to purchase it. I mean, it's beautiful, oh, it's nice, but they're not interested in purchasing it. And when you're an artist, I mean, part of it is just wanting to create, I'm sure, but when, you've given up when you've given up a career to devote to a family, which I love my family, and I don't have any regrets about that at all. But when midlife hit, I realized I was just trying to find a voice, and I was trying to make some more meaning with my life. And so I stumbled upon making my collage art from my little job that I had working with the gentleman in Dallas that I worked with. And again, it was nice, and I don't think I ever made art, or I don't feel like I'm making art for the glory of it. But again, it's just, I was making it as a way to be able to create something beautiful and supplement our family's income, so that maybe I would have access to some of the things that I wanted that it didn't seem like we could afford on just my husband's salary for whatever reasons. I mean, we could have had our own issues around money, and indeed, I think we have, and we're working at solving those, figuring that out. But anyway, it's been a hard road, and that's why some mornings, some days, I would just forget to show up in my studio, because when you're making, and your basement is literally just filling up with art pieces. Some have shown, some are just sitting in my basement. I don't have a gallery. I don't have, a studio, a proper studio where people can come and actually see my art or see me work. And my pieces are not, they're not huge, but they're not small. And I think, honestly, part of the reason that I don't make larger pieces is because I don't have room to store larger pieces of art. And it'd be hard for me when I would go to art shows. It'd be hard for me just to enjoy the art of other artists because of the constant, I don't call it need, but habit of just comparing myself. I couldn't just go to art shows for the sake of going to an art show and seeing someone else's art. It all seems like a competition, and now I'm in the world of content creation. Honestly, I've been there, been in that world for the past probably 5 years, and it's just competition. It's just competition. And even if, again, what started off as a labor of love, of just wanting to kind of express myself, turned into trying to get some views, and then people, not getting as many views as I would want, and then think, oh my gosh, my content's just weird. People just don't want what I want. I'm just too weird for people. Which then, again, if people don't want your content, they don't want your work, they don't want your art, there is a real tendency to equate that to, oh my gosh, people don't want me. And it's really hard. It's really hard. And they say, just keep showing up. They, whoever they are. I'll tell you the secret thing that I've noticed also. It may not be a secret to any of you because probably y'all are smarter than me and you realized this a long time ago. And I don't know if it's true about artists, but it's potentially true. There's this whole space out there of, make the money selling your art. Oh, and part of that, making the money selling your art, is teaching your class and teaching your course. And oh my goodness, the whole course creation is another coaching creation. It's another slippery slope. And I think it's even more pernicious than just content creation. Although what I was going to say about the content creation is the people that are making the most money, if you're wanting to content create or create content for money making purposes, the people that are making the most money, maybe making the only money, teaching people, on the only content creators really making money are those who are supposedly teaching people how to make money with their content, if that makes sense. Did I say that? Did I finally say that? I don't know. It's like really hard, and maybe the secret, and I guess they would tell you outright, the secret is to find your niche, right? You got to find your niche. You've got to find your niche. Who wants to see your work? Who wants to even see your content? And I guess, I mean, there's truth in this. Obviously, I don't have the answers because transparency alert, I am not making any money from my content at this point. Again, I'm just trying to put out something that has some sort of value for people. How is this valuable for people? Maybe because maybe it does give you some new information you might not have thought about before, or maybe it entertains you without depressing you. Definitely going to need to find some more red. Maybe it just, I guess the real hope is that what it comes down to is, my hope is that there is just some value in my life that I can offer you. And whether it's through my artwork or whether it's through my content on YouTube or my courses on my website or my Facebook Live art making sessions, my hope is that I just have some value to offer to somebody. And without being all depressing, I'm trying to be hopeful and trying to say, yeah, just stay the course, tell myself that. I'm waiting for that to happen. It depends on you. It depends on you liking this video. It depends on you subscribing to this channel. It depends on you sharing this video with other people. And then, mostly, it depends on something that feels very out of my control, which is a YouTube algorithm, to actually get this content in front of anybody to even click on in the first place. So I don't know if any of you are feeling the same way. I don't know how many of you are content creators. I don't know how many of you just came here because you wanted to see me make some art, and maybe you were hoping to get something more inspiring, and I do want to inspire people. And I do want to give you a peek into my process so you can see how I make art, and maybe just give you a peek into my brain of what's actually going through my mind as I'm creating my pieces. It's not magic today, but it's real. It is real. If you like real, then you're in the right place. No makeup, just my coffee, a little bit of Mod Podge, a canvas, no art degree, no master's in fine arts, just a woman wanting to make a difference. So this is Wednesday, and I'm going to wrap up this session for Wednesday, and the plan is to see you again tomorrow, or maybe at least a few more times this week, and we'll put something together for you, and I'll post these videos on Sunday so you can grab your cup of coffee and create along, paint along, collage along, or just sip along, and hopefully walk down this road to wherever we're going, to higher consciousness, to happier lives, more contentment with ourselves. I think that's ultimately where we're getting. But sometimes you got to get through the shadow, and you got to get through the challenges to get there. The key is just don't quit. Don't quit. Anyway, I'm here for you, and I thank you for sticking through this. If you're here right now, I really thank you. Much love to you, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.